more because I do have more, but I'm not going to. I'm going to show you a couple of things. I want to read you a little testimony of somebody. And yeah, I'd like to ask you to pay attention and to help me help them if you can. If you can't, I know you can actually. If you can pray, let's get cut to the chase, and then we'll see what we can see. So now I have to share my screen because I did have it set up, but let's not be silly and pretend that I'm organised. That would be ridiculous. But because I'm going to cut this video down, potentially I'm going to have to introduce myself again. So anyway, let's get that ready because I can only share one thing at a time. Have I got the screen on the right thing? All right, let me just, okay. Hello. I've got a request that I don't usually make at all. I don't know that I ever will again. I may do. I've spoken to JC. He's happy to share the video that I'm making right this second. Also, Jay Smith is very, very generously and kindly offered to share a link that I passed on to him earlier. And anyone else I know who maybe I don't know about your social media presence, but if you have one, please do take the link that is right this second in the description box and just stick it to the side until I explain why this is important. So I want to show you a picture of somebody I've known for many years. This is a picture of him a few years ago. So let's try this with the technology. I don't know what you can see. Let me see what you can see. Yes. Okay. So the man in the middle, there's only one man in the shot, is called Terry. And currently, he doesn't look like that. From my memory, like from when I think of him, I think of, 17, 18 stone. I don't know if you work in kilos, you're a big, big man, very tall, very comforting presence, very kind man, a very patient and gentle family man, and a gentleman, like in the old-fashioned sense of the word. And he's a really lovely guy, and I've known him years. And now I want to show you what he looks like now, and maybe take a breath. I don't know. Right, so let's try and share that screen. I'm going to stop sharing that one. So keep that image in your mind if you can, of that man with the children, big, healthy man. And now I want to show you Terry at the moment. And I hope you can see that. Yeah, you can. Okay, so that's Terry at the moment. And I'm going to read you what his daughter, or his daughters, but one of them has written here. So let me get to the page that I'm sharing, and then we read together. I tell you what, when I clicked the link, I was on the bus, I nearly collapsed. I've seen a lot of people with cancer, like I really have. My nan is one of my earliest memories of somebody with cancer, and I walked past her in the hospice. I thought, isn't that lovely? My dad's speaking to that little old lady. I wonder who she is. Maybe he knows her from visiting Nanny. It was my nan. Like, she'd been eaten away by cancer. And let's see what's happening with Terry anyway. So in September of this year, I mean, these past 2 years have been a bit horrific for everybody, but in September, Terry, who is 65, was diagnosed with esophageal cancer. That's of the esophagus. The esophagus goes from the mouth right down to the stomach, I guess, like intestines. It's your windpipe that it's divided. There's a something or other that I can't think of the name, epiglottis. Oh my gosh, my biology lessons just flew back into my brain. There's a little flap. Sometimes if you're laughing and you eat, it goes down the wrong hole. It's the same hole, but the little flap may have been out of place. So that whole part there, Terry's esophagus, is affected by cancer. And after many tests, he was given a medical pathway of having 70% of his esophagus removed and also 70% of his stomach. And that would have taken place in 2 months' time, in February. And that would have meant that there would be no further evidence of the cancer, which is NED, no evidence of disease. However, if the consultants found any cancerous cells anywhere else at all prior to the procedure, it would not be able to go ahead. And a couple of weeks before Christmas, they found that it had spread, and therefore they couldn't have that course of action. And in Britain, at least, the treatment that he needs to have is not available on the socialized healthcare that we have, that is propped up by capitalism, obviously. So yeah, it spread to his liver. And since his diagnosis, he's lost 5 stone. That's 70 pounds. For anyone who works in old money, I don't know. And he can't eat and he can't drink. And that's why he looks the way he does. And I'll show you his before picture again in a bit, because, and he has to be fed solely with a tube, because the tumour that he has is big enough to block his entire esophagus. And so what they're doing, his family, the Rubin family, they are trying to raise quite a big amount of money, to be fair, although I know at the moment 2 other people who are currently in advanced stages of cancer, and luckily they are both able to receive treatment. That's a fib. One of them is currently receiving treatment on the NHS. The other, I don't believe they're having treatment because of the progressive, because of the advanced stage. It's a really unpleasant illness. And because of COVID, whatever, I think that hospitals have sadly done a poor job of cancer screening and stuff like that in the interim, whilst everybody's been focused on this disease that is like a 99% survival rate. Let's not go into that. So the family are currently speaking to various treatment centres. I believe, I may be wrong, I believe they've settled on one, or they found one that is able to treat esophageal and liver cancer, as it now is, because it's 2 different cancers, and it's proton beam therapy. And it sounds a bit Star Trek, but I have heard of it before. It's not available on the NHS to everybody, and there is only one machine in the UK for NHS patients, and I don't think that's the pathway that he's going to be able to go down. So the good news is that somebody else who was in the same position as Terry, i.e. unable to be treated with a 70% removal of various parts of your body, had this treatment and is now 20 months in remission or recovery. And that's not the only case that the family have heard. I'm reading this here. So the consultant has advised them that the cost of the treatment is £45,000 to £60,000. I don't know what that is in pretend money where you live. In Canadian, that's just under double. American, I think it's 1.25, the conversion rate. I don't know what it is. Euros will be a very similar number, but slightly more. 45,000 to £60,000, and that's just the treatment without any consultant and other lesser follow-up or preceding treatments. And that there you go. They have found a centre. I won't name it, but it's there on the text for anybody who wants to see that. I don't know if you can see my cursor. It's there. They also need to pay the money up front. And once that has been done, it will take a month just over to arrange. So they're going to update this page as and when it automatically, I'll show you here. Hang on a minute. Let me finish what I'm reading. Yeah, what Sophie is saying and what I was going to suggest is that, once Jay Smith and JC and hopefully whoever else can share this, even if everybody gave £1, which I don't know what that is around your way, $1, one prayer would be like the one. It's not an inordinate amount of money when we appreciate how many of us there are on the planet. It's really not. And again, I don't want to hammer it home, but I had a time in my life when I was poorly for a period of time, and Terry came around and sat with me, and he really helped me a lot. And I don't know if he even remembers doing it. I think he probably does, but I do. And that's the point of what I'm trying to say. So anyway, I feel odd asking you to, I don't actually, like, please do if you are able, not if you're not able, like, let's not be silly, but if you can, like, even the smallest amount, like, won't go unappreciated, certainly by his family. And I see in the list, I'm going to show you, hold up. The last paragraph, I missed that earlier, it's so true. It says, if anyone knows our dad, he is there for any and every person who needs help. He always puts everyone before him and is truly one of a kind. And they appreciate anyone that can help and like thanks them from the bottom of their hearts. And that's the whole Reuben family. So I just want to show you in terms of updates, like this here. I tested it. It does work. It goes up. So yeah, that's that small amount of people there, that 595 people have managed to raise this amount of money here, which is just shy, like £1 shy of 17,000 if you've got £1 spare. And you can use your PayPal or you can use a debit or a credit card. You can choose the screen name that comes up. You can put a personalized note or you can hide the entirety of your donation, but they will still receive it. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I just want to reiterate one thing. I just want to show you again the Terry that I know. And that's him there. Like, cancer. Just such a... Okay, so that's me asking you for money, please. Not me asking you for money, but me asking you to like donate a very small amount if you're able, or a big amount. Like I'm not shy. It's very, very good reason. Now I'm going to get onto the like the more pressing thing that I'd love you to do is to please pray for him. Like that's massively important and would be appreciated by me. Like certainly. So his name is Terry Reuben, and he's lovely, and he definitely needs your prayers. He looks like he needs a sandwich, to be fair, but that's not going to happen for a while unless he gets the treatment. So please. So that's it. So the link is hopefully in the description. Yeah, if you know, like if you are able to, like, I guess it doesn't have to be this video being shared. It could be like you can print out the crowdfunding, just giving, whatever that link was. Not a very good advertiser, am I? Yeah, you can print it out and take it to your church and maybe stick it on the notice board. I don't really mind. You could print it out, fold it up, and like screw it up and throw it at people in the street. Maybe they'll open. I don't know, like what it is you could do. If you can't do anything, like you can do something. You can pray. If you're an atheist, get your money out, obviously, because you're not going to be praying. But yeah, all right then. Thank you. Lots of love. Cheers.